Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be showing off a super easy 2-card combo that's going to give you not only an OTK, but basically negate everything right up till you're going to be OTKing. Plus, it does have a lot of variances for the option of the 2-card play. Now, if you open up with Tour Guide, it basically is a 1-card auto win. But if you happen to have other variants of cards, just in case your opponent, let's say, negates Tour Guide's effect or something like that, you can still follow up with plays. But this is going to be a classic card. Some of you guys might know him, Gilford the Legend. This is a card that people probably don't even remember, but it's one of those cards that, like, as a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, a lot of times, like, as a Yu-Gi-Oh kid, like, you see these cards, you're like, wow, this is so OP, what the heck is this? But Gilford the Legend actually has a pretty decent effect. So the basic setup is to Appaloosa, so your opponent can't really respond to, like, basically most of your plays. You then make Kali Yuga, and then Kali Yuga then stops everything from your opponent from being able to be used. So basically, it negates everything. That's how you negate everything with a combo. And then following it up with the next turn, you will be OTKing with Gilford the Legend because of the effect of the Isolde being able to not only add Gilford the Legend, but adding all of those equip cards. And he has, this is like so memes, he has 6,900 attack, and he can attack a lot of different times, depending on what you decide to equip with. This card's always going to be equipped to him because it's like a free card, with the Divine Sword, Phoenix Blade being what it is. And then you can run pretty much whatever you want to go ahead and run with the Twin Swords of Flashing Light Trice. It loses 500 attack, but it can attack twice. You're going to be able to OTK most people. In fact, you could probably even OTK people potentially in tag duels, depending on what you set up your board with. But that's very, very good stuff indeed. And it's pretty self-explanatory, pretty quick. But I want to go ahead and show you guys another satisfying play with this deck, and then give you guys a brief little deck profile for you guys if you guys are interested in playing it. So, like I said, it is going to be a 2-card combo. It's just any 2 level 3 monsters, and pretty much most of the cards are just going to be used because they happen to be either like easy special summon, like level 3 monster, plus some of them do have technically synergies with one another, and then also with the Shade Brig letting you potentially go into further options over here. Once again, Isolde just being such a fantastic card, not only by able to dump those 4 cards, but also granting you that extra card. In our case, it's going to be Armageddon Knight 99% of the time. We can also go for Zephyros, so this can be like more of a different variant of the play. There's lots of different versions of like Isolde, variants where you basically win the next turn, especially when you can throw it off with Appaloosa. Now, depending on what your opponent is playing, you might have to factor that in as well. But this guy's playing some variants of Mystic Mine Burn, but it's not going to really matter. This is a deck where you normally think it might have a good matchup, but reading can be hard. But if he doesn't do anything, he loses anyways. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because remember, it negates all of his effects. And then Kali Yuga has this awesome ability that you can detach material, and then once per turn, either player's turn, detach material and destroy all spells and traps on the field. So there's no real like set wait for another turn, because you're not going to get that extra turn. So that's how you negate everything. Pretty much all they could really do is set things, but if you set things, you're just going to lose because Yuga just blows up everything. It's a very, very nasty thing to go ahead and run it into, especially since from the first play you guys saw the way that it worked. Even though he tried to negate it, it's not going to be going through. It depends on what you also happen to have in your hand. But anyways, now that you guys have seen the gameplay, we'll go ahead and give you guys a brief little deck profile for this nasty deck. Now, it is a 60-card deck. You could probably cut it down if you want to, but I mean, for the most part, I don't know. I think that you could cut it down just because that increases your chance to draw the 1 copy of Called by the Grave. You can even throw in like Crossed Out Designator, because you do run also hand traps yourself, so you prevent your opponent from going off. But big shout outs to Kid Charlemagne for hooking me up with the deck profile. He actually showed off a really cool other variant of Cherubini, another different variant of an OTK. But this one's kind of cool because, like I said, Gilford is one of those like classic cards. It's like a 2-card combo basically, and it can be technically a 1-card combo to pull it off, negate everything, and OTK again the following turn with the Gilford. But anyways, here is the deck profile. So anyways, we got 1 copy of Gilford, 2 copies of Destiny or Malicious, 1 copy of Codebreaker 0 Day. We got 1 copy of Grepher, Zephyros, we got Armageddon Knight, we have Seer Melbench and Burning Abyss, we have 3 copies of Psychic Tracker. Most of these cards are like specifically like if you control level 3, or if you summon level 3, summon this card, or just it's just there to be there. There's also technically an extra back row hate over here, but it's just a warrior and it just works with the deck. And then we have 3 copies of Gillosaurus, we've got Libic, we've got the Edge Imp Sabers, and then we've got the Graph, 3 copies of Tour Guide. Of course, you need your targets, and then we have Jump Forward. A lot of them again are just like, you know, level 3s. We have Ancient Cloak, we have Vylon Cube as well. This one lets you add an equip spell, so it does technically do another thing because Dawn Dragster is technically there. Not that you'll be making it most of the time. Psychic Wielder, and just another control level 3 monster, just summon it. Again, it's like pretty much the same as most of these. Then we got Silent Boots, of course, you need it for the freak extra cards that you'll be getting with this. And then we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 1 copy of Ghost Ogre, 3 copies of the Kagamutra Knight, and then we've got 1 copy of Plague Spreader, 3 copies of Baylor. Some of these, by the way, they can be used as extra fodder, especially with like Dark Grepher. You can start throwing like, you know, Plague Spreader into the grave, or any cards will just give you free extra advantage. It can be great, and especially if you happen to get one of your plays negated, it just lets you kind of extend your plays. Same thing with Mally. I wish this card was at 3. You can even maybe even throw in Umbrellas to make the deck even more insane. But we've got 1 copy of Reverse Enforcement of the Army, 3 copies of Falsehood. We got the Foolish, we got the Rank Up Magic Launch, of course, the card you can be adding for free, and then Called by the Grave. Then we got the E-Tally, and then we got the Double or Nothing for the Utopia over there, and then we got 2 copies of Different Dimension Reincarnation. Again, another follow-up play if your opponent happens to stop you, and also it's another equip. Then we have Flashing Sword Trice. We've got the Divine Sword Phoenix Blade, the Mage Power, Magnum Shield, 3 copies of Empowerment, boosting them all up. Then once per turn, you can discard 1 card, special summon an Empowered Warrior, so that can actually work with that as well. And you can technically banish 4 to add an Ether Monster, but there we go. Another free extra card. It's kind of weird, but hey, that's what it was playing. And then the Shade Brigandine over here, obviously for the extra extension. And then for the extra Dawn Dragster, but the important cards, obviously like the Utopia lineup, and obviously like you need these. This card's actually pretty important too. Actually, like there's a lot of cards that are pretty important, but if I was to drop some cards, I would consider these as well. But the most important ones are Utopia Kaiser, Kali Yuga, Utopia Double. Then we got Big Eye to go and rank up, and we got Appaloosa, Rusty Bardiche, Isolde, and Cherubini. And then we've got Dawn Dragster, Borosword. Borosword's really good if your opponent happens to like make YuGiOh second and you want OTK. This is like the prime, I would say, card that you want to go to instead of going for like Appaloosa, because you can just get more damage out. But you might need to make this to stop their effects. Then we got Nightmare Unicorn, Codebreaker Virus Swordsman, another copy of Soul if it gets stopped. Hockey Fireback's actually pretty good too. And then Ferocious Flame Swordsman. But anyways, that's going to go and wrap it up for the deck profile. Let me know, guys, what you think of it. And it's just cool. I like it when once in a while we get to see like cards that are classic that, you know, again, as a kid, you think about like this card's super. I remember as a kid, I always thought this card was OP. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably also thought it was OP like back in the day, but I know Yu-Gi-Oh has definitely evolved since then. But like, you know, I like seeing some of these cards make a return. But anyways, that's going to go and wrap up the vid. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on it. If you're new here and do want to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh stuff in the future, hit subscribe, turn that bell, and you'll definitely see it more very soon. And big shout outs once again to Charlemagne for hooking me up with the deck profile as well as the gameplay. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.